What's up guys, and welcome back to Empire Total War, where last week we managed to secure London. We managed to take London. We held on to Edinburgh a couple of weeks ago, and we've repaid the favour to the British who attacked us by taking London from them. So yeah, they're in a pretty poor position now. Yeah, welcome back. It's all looking pretty good compared to what it was last week when we started the episode and we were going bankrupt. We're actually in a very good looking position at the moment. London is on pretty much completely fire, but we'll hopefully sort that out in the next couple of turns once we get some money. And we do have these random British lads who have parked their way up in Dundee, so we're going to have to go and see if we can kick them out at some point. But we'll also see if we can take Dublin, because that's pretty much the last area in Europe apart from Gibraltar the British even have. So if we can kick them out of there, then that would be a very, very strong start to this this campaign of world domination, which hopefully we actually get through this time. But yeah, it's all looking good. We've got Stockholm over here, and we kicked these guys out of Uppsala last week, or I think they attacked us, and then ultimately we annihilated them, and they've all run away. But there are plenty of Swedish armies just casually wandering around, so we're going to have to deal with them at some point. I'm wondering whether it's worth trying to take Abo early on, because I'm pretty sure Abo is bigger than Christiania. Christiania is one location. Apparently they have the Baltic Sea. Yeah, I think Abo is a bit bigger. It's not going to let me click on it, so we have no idea how big Abo is, but I think it's slightly bigger. But given that we've got Stockholm, they have absolutely nothing in terms of the ability to like build units or build anything particularly strong. I think their best chance is to build big ships, but even then they've not got anything absolutely massive. I think this is their biggest like port here, which they've got as a shipyard, which allows them to build some pretty sizable ships. But yeah, we'll see if we can possibly take Abo some point this week. That'd be quite nice. And given that we've got no money, well, we've got very little money, I'm just going to end turn and see what happens. So it's got even worse for the Swedish. They've ransacked all of Sweden, and now what? Now what have you done? Whatever that was. Right, they have completely ransacked all of Sweden, but they've now lost Christiania to the Norwegians. The Norwegians have rebelled and come back and taken Christiania back from the Swedish. So now Sweden have Abo, and that's it. That's the only place they have. I think it looks like they're going to try and head this direction and attack us. Hopefully they fail in that pursuit. But it's all going completely tits up for the Swedish right now. They are not in a good position at all. To have gone from having, like, they very early on they managed to secure Christiania, and they had basically all of Scandinavia. Oh, for God's sake. This bloody Synergy app again. Disconnect you. And we should be fine. Right. Yeah, so they've gone from having all of Scandinavia. They have Stockholm, Christiania, like Norway, and they had Finland. They had all of it after about 2 turns, and then we prop up, take over Stockholm, and now they've lost Christiania to the Norwegians again, like immediately, like 2 turns later. We've got a rebellion in England, typical, bloody English, there they are, look at him. Look at him. Bloody Charles Booth turns up with his men. His ranger. How did he get rangers? Where did rebels find Queen's Rangers from? Anyway. And they've got drummers. Anyway. Yeah, bloody Charles Booth and his men turn up, so we're going to have to deal with them. I think they'll probably replenish. Well, that's cost us all of our money to replenish that, but hopefully that fixes our army so that we're capable of taking out these guys. But it does mean that London's is going to be on fire for even longer. But then again, it's already rebelled, so it's not really going to get much worse. But we're not making very much at the moment. I think that might actually be to do with the fact that Glasgow got raided yet again. What's our tax situation? Shall put the tax up on the nobility, because they do love a good bit of tax. England's going to be raging, but England's always raging, so we'll just deal with that. Right, well, I think we're probably just going to have to end turn again because we've got no money left. So we'll see what happens with these guys. They'll probably attack us, but they are apparently pretty battle scarred. So we'll see if what they've got is a match for big Gavin Playfair in Stockholm. Ah, the Muggles are back again with the same offers they had last week, having military alliance for 5 turns of military access, which we don't need, so we'll just be saying no to that. Now Malmo's been raided, for crying out, like literally, and Cambridge. And what's the other place? East Anglia Farms. Literally everywhere we own has been bloody well raided and set on fire, so yeah, we're gonna have to deal with that. But I think I might try and deal with big bloody, I can't even see his name anymore. Big whatever his face is. So we're gonna go and see if we can deal with him. So I might just send everybody. Attack him. I don't think he'll be able to run away because he's pinned in a corner. Auto resolve that. We do win. We lose 347 men, which isn't too bad, but we killed over a third of them, so that's pretty good going. And they are completely gone. So we'll stick ourselves back in London, and that's dealt with the wild rebellion that went on here. So yeah, England is now settled. We'll probably have another one in about 3 turns' time. Look at the amount of smoke. London is completely on fire. We've got the bloody East Anglia farmlands. We've got Cambridge. What's this? Birmingham's on fire. Actually, maybe that's just Birmingham. Up here, bloody Dundee, Speyside, Inverness, and Glasgow are all on fire. And we don't have that much money to, like, fix stuff, so yeah. Again, I do kind of want to go and take these guys on, but we don't have that many men, so we'll just continue recruiting and see if we can build up a bit more of a force in Edinburgh. Actually, what I might do is I might just send some units back up. Send these guys back up to Scotland, see if they can fill in Edinburgh a little bit, add a little bit extra presence in Edinburgh. But I think we might just have to ignore Britain for a while and see if we can focus on somewhere else. But there's not really much else to do. I think, to be honest, this week's going to be a lot of just like sort of ending turn and trying to level ourselves out a little bit and get our economy in order and sort out all these bloody rebellions that are going on everywhere. And they're back. Oh well, there goes the plan of going and taking Abo, but we'll see if what they've brought with them and if we can actually kill them. They've besieged our city. Big Agnar Bengston. Let's see, what have we got? 50-50 battle again. We have almost twice as many men as him. Maybe not almost, but we have a substantial amount more men than him, and yet bloody Big Agnar and his wild band of men have turned up and suddenly they've got the advantage. So they have quite a fair bit of cavalry and artillery, so there's not that many men. I think I'm just gonna fight this myself, to be honest. I'm just gonna do it now and get this dealt with and get them removed before that army that was sitting to the left side there pops its way along, because then we would be much more likely to lose. We have arrived, and all of our men, yet again, are on the outside of the walls. Just so much quality. What is this? Quality logic in this game. Like, oh, we'll give you a fort, and then we'll put everybody you've got on the wrong side of it. God, mate, this is just taking the neck. Right, men finally positioned on the walls. Let's get on with this. So they're all just sitting over there. Although they have been much smarter this time and not positioned their cannons inside a trench, inside a gorge, but hey ho, they are positioned on a hill, which makes them a bit more dangerous to us, but we'll see what happens. Although they do appear to just be sending their men in some sort of weird formation straight towards us, so we'll see what happens there. That is the general, so let's see if we can bombard him immediately. That would be quite a good take if we could murder him. And he's running away. Cowardice bastard, running the opposite direction. I'm going to sacrifice my cannons. I'm going to take them out, I'm going to stick them in front of the wall and just shoot our more cannons back at them, because they're quite happy to just sit there and shoot at us, so we'll make them change their mind a little bit and see if we can draw them out. We've been doing a good job of killing all of their horses, but their cannons all still stand, so yeah, we've been hitting the wrong ones, really, let's be honest. And then there's a cowardice general hiding behind his little mound over here. Look at him. Just watching the battle from behind his little hill. Although this is very odd. This is like white with like purple. I don't know what's going on with this grass. It's odd. Anyway. Like that. Absolutely munched them. Although I think like they're all actually still alive. I don't think we've actually killed them. Oh well, that I think did some hefty damage. As did that. Cannonballs are doing some pretty solid. Oh my good god. Cannonballs are doing some hefty damage to these guys. Aha! Cavalry's finally on the move. Well, Mr. Cavalry, we shall send out the pikemen. Go on, boys. Quickly, before the cavalry get here. Because they are coming at a hefty pace, although they have just been absolutely minced by a cannonball. With the and they've just walked into the gate. They've just gathered themselves against the gate. Now there we go, finally. Right. Out! March your way out. There we go, this is going to be absolute annihilation. Go on, get yourselves into some sort of orderly fashion. Pike them! Well, there's a lot of something going on down here. I'm not sure it's in our favour. Oh, we made their cavalry run away, which is nice. How many of you guys are left? Still quite a lot, actually. Right, why are you running away? Where are you going? Where are you taking these? Like, what is your plan? How's our walls looking? 50% damage. Look at it! Look at the state of it! Need to be a bit careful here. These guys might, even though we can't apparently control them, these guys might be in a bit of danger if they are on this wall when it falls down. Where are these guys going? They've just cleared up, and these guys don't even care. They've given absolutely zero fucks about this. They've just got a bunch of Scottish horses, some men just sitting on Scottish horses, riding them away. And these guys do not care in the slightest. 92%. God, right, okay. Gonna get these guys off of that section of wall. Their bloody armour has been taking a bit of a battering as well, because these cannonballs keep sailing straight over the wall and hitting that. How's the wall? How's the wall? How's the wall? 97%. God damn it. We can't even... These cannons are here. We can't even bring them back in because their horses have cleared off. They just ran away. So they're now stuck. The wall has completely collapsed now, so they're going to start their attack, which it looks like they're doing. Immediately, as soon as the wall's down, they're on their moves. So we'll bring as much as we can back inside. These guys are lumbered up. We'll bring our cannons, stick them in here, get you guys back that direction. Oh look, they've still not moved. They moved about 4 feet forward and then stopped again. I honestly don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know if they're going to try and take down this section of wall now as well. Is that a plan? Is that what they're trying? Finally looks like their cavalry are making moves towards us, so that'll be fun. Bring our pikemen back out again to deal with them. We've also got these guys up on the wall who will absolutely annihilate as soon as they get anywhere near. Jesus Christ. There was just a point-blank canister shot straight through them. And now they're getting absolutely murdered by the folk on the walls. They're running away for their lives. Meanwhile, they're all getting shot down from behind. Oh my word, there's only 15 of them left. There was 90 to begin with. Oh, what an absolute disaster that was. They didn't get anywhere near. Our pikemen didn't even get out in time, so they're just an absolute waste. These gates are the bane of my life, they really are. But they've made no attempt, apart from charging a couple of units of cavalry towards us, they've made absolutely no attempt to try and take this fort whatsoever. Wait a minute. Why have we got a flag just sitting over there? That's our bloody artillery, our horses that just ran away. And flags just stuck over there for some reason. I'm bringing my artillery out to see if we can either coax them to come towards us or just like get into a good position to just hit them even more with more cannon fire. Oh wow, a cannonball just absolutely crippled their general's bodyguard. He's still alive though, apparently. Oh, they're finally making a move. Look, they stood there for so long that all these people just died in their lines before they even moved them forward. Right, so they've started attacking our cannons. Guys on the walls are doing very little to help. Sending everybody out to go and attack these guys. Look at this absolute monstrosity. Everybody that was on the ground I've just sent to go and attack these guys that attacked our cannons. And there's just this absolute cluster of horses and pikemen coming running out. I mean, that would put the absolute, like, fear of death amongst you if you saw that just piling out of the fort. And it has done because they've run away. Meanwhile, this battle's still going on, and they're still just sitting over there doing absolutely nothing to come and attack us. And this lad would not be moved. He's just sitting there. All the other cannons moved back into the fort, and he just stayed here. But we're moving them back out again to see if we can have a second go at them, see if we can get them to shift, or at least try and kill their general. That'd be nice. They're not limbering. All right, well, we've broken the horses, the artillery. They've just completely stopped working. They're just standing there now. All right, well, it's up to these guys. Come on, lads. See if you can go in there. Do some work. Actually, we should probably send a few more than just them, to be honest. It would be a bit cruel if we just sent these guys. I'm going to run out of time, so we've only got 10 minutes of this battle left. Right, so we're sending all the infantry in to engage these guys, which should hopefully distract them, and then meanwhile we'll send the cavalry around the back to try and kill their general. Got these guys going on a suicide mission. They're probably about to get shot by their own men in the back as well, but we're going to go for a grenade launch here. Alley-oop. Death. Absolute death. Right. See if we can do it again on these guys. Oh no, they're running away. Thinking of running away. They should be running away because the grenades are about to absolutely munch, well, almost munch them. Meanwhile, our horses are absolutely annihilating everybody that's behind them, and their units are sitting in front just observing this death that's going on. These guys aren't even paying attention, so we'll get the grenadiers to go and do a job on them. Killed the enemy general. What was his name? Big Agnar Bengston. Big Agnar Bengston's deed, and we've killed them all. So we'll just end that. Heroic victory. I'm not really sure. I mean, it always tends to give you a heroic victory when it's not that heroic. I mean, they just stood there and battered our walls. And we just stood there and shot cannonballs back at them. So that was pretty much all the battle that happened. We did lose 303 men, but we killed almost all of them. Although we did kill 200 of our own men. So we did help them out quite a bit. But yeah, we pretty much annihilated them. But now... Look how little they've got left. But now, the bigger issue is actually these guys who are coming along. So we're going to have to prepare ourselves for them as well, which is going to be a bit of a challenge, given that we've got no money. We'll send these guys back up into Edinburgh. And then I think, in the next turn, we'll try and take these guys out of Glasgow and see if we can get that repaired, because currently it's costing us a lot of money. We're actually losing money now, because we have too many men and not enough income. Right, we might actually... Let's see if we can get a trade agreement with somebody. Got ourselves a trade agreement with them. Denmark, are you interested in a trade agreement? No, that's just a... I'm not going to give you military access, that's for sure. How about Venice? Are Venice interested in a trade agreement? Go on. Bloody Venice. Genoa. Lovely Genoa. How about you give us a trade agreement? Nope. Why are you being so aggressive? Why would I rue this day? I'm just asking for a trade agreement. You don't have to be so bloody aggressive about the situation. The Mumalekis. Go on, lads. Go on. Be friendly. Good stuff. Good stuff. Right. Let's see if Denmark are open to negotiating a little bit. So they want trade agreement. They want military access, which I'm not that keen on giving. I'll give them 5 turns of military access. I don't want the money. Fine. Just be that way then. How about minor nations? Is there anybody? Cool. Got ourselves a trade agreement with the Barbary States. The Knights of St. John. Go on. Go on, boys. Yes. Friendly men. Kurland. Go on. Go on. Finish it off. Do it for us. Bastards. Right. Oh well. We've got ourselves plenty more trade agreements then. That's that was like 4 or 5 new trade partners, so that should hopefully, yeah, we've got up to 1,708, absolutely rolling in it. So yeah, we've got ourselves plenty more trade partners now, which is very useful, and gives us plenty more money to play with. So yeah, we'll be able to do that in a turn's time. But that battle of Stockholm's taken an absolute toll. It's taken a long time. It was a very long battle as well, a long-winded battle. So yeah, I think we'll end turn and we'll see what they do. That army that's next to them is probably going to be the challenge. I don't know, like they'll probably attack us, and we'll see what the outcome of that will be. These bloody Muggles really want a military alliance. Like, they've offered... They've been wanting a military alliance and been offering military access. They're now offering us money, which I'm kind of intrigued to take. Do they have technology? They have carcass shot. Can we have carcass shot? I don't want military access. We don't really need that. But we'll take carcass shot if you're willing to give it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. 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 So we're now allied with the Mughal Empire, which is both a good and a bad thing, because they are enemies with literally half of the world, which we could quite easily get pulled into. But then again, we can just say no, and I don't think they're really that useful to us. They've got loads of allies and loads of enemies, so they've just they've just been starting wars and creating alliances with literally everybody. But we'll see what happens with them. They'll probably try and pull us into something, but we've got ourselves a technology out of it, which is quite useful. He's coming back. What an absolute moron. We've absolutely murdered all of his men, and he's decided we'll go and raid this place and then we'll come back to face us again for some reason. But they have finally attacked us, and it's actually a very one-sided battle. So we've got just under 1,000 men, they've got 659. For some reason, this is giving us a pretty solid chance of victory compared to the last time, where we actually had more men than them again, but it was saying 50-50. So yeah, they have no cannons or anything like that. Big Hildebrand Backstrom, and I think we'll auto-resolve that. We do win pretty significantly. We lost 201 men, which is quite hefty, but we did kill 511, which is pretty good. So they're down to 148, and they can clear off back to wherever they came from. So we've held on to Stockholm for another week, which would be quite nice. We probably see we're getting rid of these guys, actually. I'm just going to go immediately. All 20 of their horses, big Werner Forsberg, you can die. Killed all of them. We did lose 75 men, which is not great, but we have killed them, and we can move ourselves back into Stockholm and keep that safe. Austria and Sweden have broken their alliance. Well, I don't blame Austria, because Sweden are now pretty much non-existent, as have the United Provinces, as have Georgia. And we've got ourselves a letter of demand from England and the riot, and yeah, England's just loving life right now. Yeah, so we've actually built up our ship here as well, which should be quite nice. We could possibly use that to head over here, although there's a bunch of Swedish men over here, which is not very great. So I think what we'll do is we'll just actually sit back and try and maintain what we've got. Rebuild Sweden, because it's been completely set on fire everywhere. This is going to take a lot of time and a lot of money, I think, to fix everything. But it's probably worth doing. So we'll get rid of these guys. These are actually rebels. They're not even a Swedish army. And hopefully we can try and just maintain ourselves and get ourselves back into a good standing financially, because currently, with everything being on fire all over the place, it's not doing our trade very good. So talking of trade, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send these guys to go and try and take on these lads. Big Benedict Browning, get rid of him, kick him out, killed basically all of them, so he can clear off back to Dublin. And we'll stick our men back in Edinburgh, and we'll fix... Well, we can't fix, because we can't afford to fix bloody Glasgow, because Glasgow's absolutely... Well, it's not completely on fire, but it's pretty heftily on fire, so we're actually not able to fix that. But that's challenge number one, is try and fix Glasgow, because that's where most of our trade actually comes into. And it's currently on fire. Meanwhile, we've also got this fleet down here in Liverpool. That's not Liverpool. Why would I think that's Liverpool? Bristol... taking over that, so our trade here's been diminished as well. Is this on fire? No, this is actually fine. This is on fire though. Right, we'll repair you, and that should hopefully fix a little bit of our trade issues. But yeah, we need to get Bristol and we need to get Glasgow back up and running again, because we're losing a lot of money from our trade there. We're only making 72 coins. After getting all those trade agreements, we're still like basically got no money. So yeah, we're going to have to deal with that. But yeah, that'll be for next week, because I'm going to end the video. That Battle of Stockholm has taken quite a hefty amount of time to finish. But anyway, we're going to call it a week. So if you've enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well if you're new around here and want to keep up to date with all my stuff. Then hit that big subscribe button down below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. So until then, cheerio.